Hey guys, welcome back to Heiko Shaves. My name is Heiko, and as you can tell, Heiko needs a shave. Actually, I really need a shave today because I have a lunch date with my wife, and don't want to look like Scruffy Joe, and that's why we have to do this. And it also has to be relatively quick because she gets off work, and then I have to pick her up and take her somewhere. And this is like the combination of our wedding anniversary plus Mother's Day, kind of falls right in between, so that's perfect. Anyways, what are we gonna do today? I have been going around here my collection of razors and revisited razors that I haven't used in a while. And the one that I want to use today is this one here, Merkur Futur in chrome, the chrome version. And yes, this is a real Merkur Futur. This is not the $6.99 from AliExpress, even though I gotta admit, some of those clones, let me see if I can find my potato peeler clone. I have one. Oh yeah, here. It's under the pile of cheap razors. It is fairly similar. So this is the original, pretty hefty, and this is the clone. And I have done a comparison shave. I mean, of course, it's manufactured differently. It's engraved, laser engraved rather than like stenciled here. This is completely done differently. The handle has a different diameter, different length. Parts are interchangeable, so you can take the cap off. The Futur actually is quite a copied razor, so that you can find a lot of cheap Chinese-made razors on AliExpress and Temu and other places. And I think I paid like all of $6 for this one. And surprisingly, it shaves. And the mechanism that holds the top cap in with those spring steel bars actually works here, even on the $6 one. But we're going to use the correct one, the real deal. This was patented in 1983, this mechanism here, so that you can just grab your top cap and pull it off. And, they have been making it ever since. And it actually works really well. It's a pretty chungus razor head, so, it's not really good for like fine detailed work if you have like a fancy beard and you want to like shave patterns in there. But overall, for a normal shave, it actually works really well. The only downside that they designed into it is that the handle turns and changes the adjustment of the razor. So you're holding onto the thing that turns to adjust the razor. But it's tight enough that it really doesn't cause any problems. So at least I haven't had any problems. So we're going to grab a Persona Super previously used. Put that on here. You can see there like tiny little tabs sticking out that hold the blade in place. And then you just grab the top cap. By the way, I want to put this down real quick and show you. They actually made one side so that it has a little bit of a lip to it. So you have an easier time pulling it up. It's actually pretty nifty. A lot of people have problems with this, the potato peeler and the too bulky. So the setting goes from 1 to 6. It's pretty hard to see, even though they kind of really deeply engraved the numbers here. I wish there would be some paint in there. Maybe if there would be red paint in those numbers, that would be great. And that's for the modders among us. So from 1 to 6, we're going to, of course, go to number 6 and see what that feels like. And if we don't like it, we're going to drop it down. We're going to use Awesome Sauce by PAA, very mentholated stuff. I have the matching, you can tell I like that stuff. So it's very similar to Purasso Green, the menthol and all that. Oh, and it just, the scent, it's a semi-hard soap. So we have to kind of scrape it out of there. That's way too much. Okay, perfect. And then we're going to put it in my little, I seem to always use the same little $11 shave bowl from Amazon just because it works so well. It has those ripples at the bottom. Now I have soap on my index finger. We have some soap, some water in the sink already, and my MSS basin is already preloaded. So yeah, we have the soap in there. I forgot to pick a brush. Let's just pick one of those pretty Yachi brushes that I have. Yeah, this one is pretty cool. Pretty colorful. Nice big handle. I think this is a 24 knot So I'm gonna be smearing some lather in my nostril for sure because of the size of this thing. But yeah, they make really affordable, but really good quality brushes. Are we gonna let's do some pre-shave here real quick. Let's add Paraso Green pre-shave because it matches scent-wise. Yeah, I just want to show you. Those jars here, it's actual glass, lasts a really long time. I mean, I've been using this for the last, you know, however long the channel has been online, 2.5 years. And we're not really getting to the bottom of this jar. You don't need much. It's just a little layer of protection between the initial shave and your skin. I added some water to it just so that we have a little bit more moisture on the skin. And I put this out of the way here. Oh, I should probably weigh this here for you. I still have a razor sitting on my scale that we cannot have. Okay, come on. Hello. Yes, here we go. 127 grams. So this is definitely a stout little boy with a blade in it. So it would probably be 126 without the blade. Blades don't weigh much. All right. So blade tab's completely covered over. Everything is molded and round and nice and good looking. The handle is fully chromed, but you still have this indentation here that helps you to hold onto this piece. I will refill my sink. My sink seems to be leaking, so 1 second.
5 minutes later.
All right, so let's get started with the lather here. I just dip the brush into the water, shake off most of the water, and then go right in here. And the ripples will hold onto the soap that we smeared in there. And then you can always add water. Lots of people like to bloom their soap, which probably helps with the lathering process, you know, but that would require me to plan and to, you know, do things in advance. A lot of guys, they bloom in the soap container and then dump the blooming water into the hand as pre-shave. That's one method, but I just don't like to put water into all my soap containers and then they sit here sometimes for weeks or months. And then, you know, you can get mold. Soap, especially like tallow-based soaps, they can go rancid if you don't treat them right. It's not very likely. They have preservatives in it and stuff. But yeah, it can happen, and I just don't want to waste stuff. So we always scoop here on this channel, and we're lathering in a shave bowl. That's what they're for. Sorry, I'm a little scratchy on the voice here today. I don't know why. It's still morning. I even brought my little Winnie the Pooh cup. What is my clock doing up there? I guess I forgot to set my clock correctly last time I changed the battery. Not correct. Anyways, here we go. We're slowly building up. And we're just gonna transfer this over into my face. The lather looks very nice and shiny and fine bubbles. Amazing. It's really amazing, this stuff. That's why they called it awesome sauce. It's awesome. The cooling effect of menthol. The soap is really nice. PAA really get their stuff together. The CK6 version of their soap. Of course, now I have it on my t-shirt. Right, perfect. That's what always happens. I don't know, I'm not very skilled. There we go. All right, so Merkur Futur. I'm a little discombobulated here this morning, I feel, and a little scratchy on the voice, but number 6 on the setting. So it goes from 1 to 6 and no further. Here we go. Let's see. About 3 days. Very tinny sounding. But it does shave and it doesn't feel all crazy. You just gotta keep the pressure under control with any razor. Oh yeah. Very good. Oh, tinny sound. At number 6 is a very bladey endeavor. I mean, I feel the entire edge of the blades just sticking out into my face. So it's almost shaving like I'm holding a razor blade in my hand. The close comb down here isn't really doing much of anything. Nice big channels for the lather to go through. Clogging up at setting 6 is very unlikely. But yeah, you gotta be careful. Scratchy scratch voice. I'm even skipping breakfast this morning because we're gonna go to an Italian restaurant. So and now the problem is that you can't really get under your nose. Either you have the chunky top cap cover here on it and that gets in the way. When you do the rolling, that might work, but on a setting 6, that's pretty scary. Yeah, I might nick my nose in the process. So let's not do that. Oh yeah, and that also kind of hurts. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is insane blade exposure. That is sticking out right in your face. So very bladey, but I managed to make one pass here without any injuries. I kind of scratched myself here. So when I lay it like this and want to go under my nose, the corner of the blade is so exposed that it really like digs in. So let's not do that. I would say maybe we go down to a more civilized setting here, maybe to a 3 and see how our second pass is gonna be. How about that? How do you feel? How do you guys feel about that? Let's pick up some lather out of my bowl. Nice and cool. Ah, the scent is just amazing. I really like those mentholated, heavily mentholated things. Okay. Very good. All right, second pass across the grain at setting 3 now, which is a little bit more normal. Let's see how that goes. Oh, you know what? I completely forgot to talk about those little shelves that I put up. I posted a picture, just a little decoration. The nicer looking sets of soap and aftershave and a couple razors. You know, I have so much of that stuff and they have such cool designs on it. Would be a shame not to, you know, yeah, let's zoom in on it a little bit for you guys real quick. Would be a shame not to display them. And even my wife likes it, so that's a win-win. So, yeah, I was going to zoom in a little bit on the shave here. When I then remembered that I had changed something in the background. But, you know, honestly, when I'm shaving, I'm always standing right in front of it. So, you know, it's something for you to see when I'm digging for my razor blades, I guess. So. contemplating, I have a spice rack that I use for my collection of shave brushes, and I could hang that behind me here on the wall, but you wouldn't see it either. That's the problem here in this bathroom. There's door. If there wouldn't be the door and I would have a nice wall for decorations behind me, that would be great. I like the razor. It's heavy. It kind of, even though I have wet fingers, it's not slipping out of my hands. But even on setting 3, it's still a pretty positive explosive. No, it's still a very positively exposed razor blade in here. So I can, by bare eye, just looking at the close comb and the top here, I can see that the blade protrudes past that. And so this is a positive exposure razor, and it's still pretty bladey on setting 3. Oh man, what is going on? I keep catching myself here. Do I have a bump there, a pimple? Oh, oh my goodness, this razor is killing me. I haven't had, oh, I actually got my nose. They call it the potato peeler. A lot of people have problems with it. I never really had any problems with it until today. Yeah, like I said, in my face, like on the normal flat surfaces, no problem with this thing. Just around my nose, and now I'm bleeding like a little piglet. Okay, anyways, let's do a little inspection. I think this might be, oh yeah, that's perfect. Bloody nose, actually 2 bleeders, all under my nose, and I'm still not clean up here. That's the problem. So that is really a problem for me, because I kind of like to, you know, either do the rocking motion or the sideways shave like this, you know, and on this razor it doesn't seem to be working all that well. Let's put it to setting 1, the mildest we have, and then look at that. I'm like bleeding. My nose is bleeding, and now I have to sneeze. This way is really impossible. If I maybe swap the top cap around. Yeah, not the best. Anyway, we haven't had a real shaving fail in a while, but yeah, nicking my nose, that's not really fun. And the result is pretty good. I'm pretty clean here all over. So let's just rinse off, use some alum, and then we're done for the day. So you see the limitations. You can shave with this really well. On setting 1, it is on the mild side. So setting 1 really gives you a mild feel. So finally the close comb has come up high enough to actually cover the blade. But everything higher than this is really bladey, but it does get the job done quick. It's clean, you know, that's the positive side. So let's rinse off. I know you guys like me using the alum block, so let's get that wet real quick. All good? Oh, yeah. There is a little owie under the nose on 2 sides. Oh yeah. Oh, that burns. All right, let's rinse off again. Yeah, overall pretty good. Until I nicked myself twice, once here and once there. I think it's a interesting razor. It is design-wise much different from any of the other adjustables or 3-piece razors that I have. So it's a permanent member of the cast, but you gotta be careful with this thing. So there are some sharp edges sticking out. If you crank it up to a 6, I can shave, but I just can't do anything under my nose with this thing. And as you just saw, there are still moments where I nick myself, and alum did the trick. It stopped bleeding immediately, sucks down the little blood vessels. And now we're gonna put some awesome sauce aftershave in my hand here and throw it in the face. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, post alum, I usually don't get much burn sensation anymore. Oh, now I'm bleeding again. Yeah, not very clean here under my nose. I see I have some stubbles there. But, what can I do? I could use another razor and clean this off, but I think we're just gonna leave it like this. Aftershave is lovely, and then you can always, add a simple aftershave balm to it. Actually, in the comment section just recently, I read that someone suggested to use the aftershave balm first as kind of like calming down the skin, and then putting the scent over top of it, which totally makes sense. Because you pick the aftershave for its scent. I guess I do, at least. So a little aftershave balm for the skincare, and then put aftershave on top of that, just a little bit. Yeah, that's good. That works. That's a good idea. That's really a good idea. So I really appreciate your guys' recommendation. The other recommendation was to just use the razor blades that I'm most used to for evaluating of a razor, instead of using like some random stuff with a brand new razor. Totally makes sense to me as well. Alrighty guys, that was a little discombobulated shave, but hey, it happens, you cut yourself. Now because the injury is near my nose, now I'm a little nasally. It's just not the greatest shave here today, but you guys stuck it out. You are with me here, and we tried out the Merkur Futur and reminded ourselves why they call it the potato peeler. And that is it for today. I hope I see you next time. Please put the comments, the complaints, the suggestions down below. And we'll see you for our next one. Take care. One last look at the decorations. I like it. Little oak. This is actual real oak. There's no particle board. From Amazon, wasn't really expensive. If you are interested in stuff like this, I put it down in the links as well. Alrighty guys, that's it. Take care. Bye.